I'm Mark Frost, and you're listening to Twin Peaks Unwrapped.
I got idea, man. You take me for a walk under the sycamore tree. The dark trees that blow, baby, in the dark trees that blow, and I'll be
And welcome to Twin Peaks Unwrapped. I'm your host, Bryon Gazaska, and beside me is...
Ben Durant.
Ben, today we're taking a break from Twin Peaks
We're
The
taking
Return.
a break? We're actually not doing a show this week?
No, we're doing a show, but we're taking a break from the show because it's on a break.
Yes.
Just for a week.
You know, some people actually do take a week off. Some podcasts probably take a week. Why didn't we take the week off?
Because we're crazy.
We're crazy. We've got Mark Givens from Deer Meadow Radio.
Mark, how's it going?
What's up, guys?
On show 100, we had a prediction show where we had you on, and we were making our predictions about the new series.
And boy, were we wrong.
And I want to run through these and talk about all of our predictions just for fun. I have them all laid out here, so
Thank you, Ben.
Yes.
I was actually going to email John Bernardi to see if he actually did it.
He said he might do it, but I got it.
I scanned through all midnight. We didn't do great. I can say that much, but
This is going to be a lot of fun. And then we could do it again at the end.
Yes. Mark,
exactly.
Your first prediction was there will be a new Donna. Oh, there will be a Donna in the show. As of right now, it's unknown. This is an unknown yet. It's still, the show isn't over yet. There could be a Donna, but we've already seen Doc Hayward,
which was cool.
Very cool.
Very cool.
He's fishing. He's just hanging out.
He didn't seem to be caring about Donna.
No, he didn't.
No.
Too concerned.
I don't know if I ever said it on the show, but I thought the hit and run mother actress was going to be Donna. I'm like, oh, she's got a quality to her about her that could be a grown-up Donna. I don't think that it was it. I think they would have said on the show that,
you killed Donna's kid.
Yes. Now that makes me reconsider Alicia Witt, because I thought, that was going to be the sister. But now I'm wondering, could she be another character? And they've already said, David Lynch and I think others have said there will be other actors on there playing other characters, just like Jacques is playing somebody else.
Another brother.
So now I'm reconsidering. So at least in that one, it's still unknown, but we all thought that Donna was coming back.
So far, unknown.
Ben thought that FBI has declared Cooper dead. False. I think they just thought that he was missing. That's it. Just like Philip Jeffries. Bryon, we are not going to enter the town of Twin Peaks to part 2. Mark was saying, no. You didn't want that to be the case. Mark, you were saying it could be for dramatic reasons. Maybe they would do that. My feeling was that it had to be 65% of the time it was going to be in Twin Peaks. It would make me happy if Lucy answered the phone. Which, in part 1, we got Jacoby getting shovels. We got Ben and Jerry. We got Andy and Lucy. We got Hawk talking to the log lady, all in the first part.
We did.
So that debunked your
yeah, I know. And Ben did bring up a good point later on, how each episode we've gotten more and more Twin Peaks. Where the episode 7, we got a lot of Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're
not
slowly...
so much in 8.
Not so much in 8.
Not so much in 8. Was there any Twin Peaks?
No.
I'm trying to think now.
There was no Twin Peaks.
I don't think there was.
Nope.
Wow.
Nothing.
It's weird how it's played out, though, because there was a lot in that first episode, but I didn't think there was. Most of a lot of it's kind of secondary, just showing the characters real quick. But the early stuff with the box and all that is more kind of the drama which you're following.
True.
So
it's true.
They kind of scattered it. It's interesting how they're doing it.
I do still believe that we just get little sprinkles of Twin Peaks, and then it's gonna flip, and the majority of it's gonna be Twin Peaks the later half of the series.
You still think that? You still buying into that?
I really am buying into that. I believe that the central mystery is going to be in Twin Peaks. I want to believe that Laura Palmer is going to be.
It's going to be at the
Twin
house.
Peaks.
It's
Yes.
going to be at the Palmer house.
It's all gonna lead to that, maybe.
Yeah, I feel
I thought that, but it's like the stuff that I really loved has been kind of the stuff outside of Twin Peaks so far. So
it's so good.
You know, it's kind of I'm kind of fine if it just keeps going that way, but we don't know. We definitely don't know.
So, Mark, you thought that returning characters not on the actors list that we got, we were going to get some of them. Like, you were hoping for Catherine and Josie and Wyndham Earl. As of right now, we've got none of those. And I think we all agreed. Bryon and I both thought that maybe Heather Graham, who played Annie, would return. Yeah. And right now we can still say unknown. I mean, we still have plenty of show left. It could still happen.
But Annie was mentioned.
She was. That's what I was going to get.
Yep.
What I love is that, we haven't gotten all these characters that we were hoping for, but we have talk of, like, Truman. We have talk about Major Briggs. We have talk about Philip Jeffries. And I love that. I love that they're finding ways to still bring these characters in, even if they're not on the show.
Or they've passed away in real life.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah, I'd say, like, how they're handling the old characters aren't necessarily essential to really what's going on, but how their stories are playing out, they just really... Everything feels right, Jerry Horn, stoned in the woods. It just kind of works.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Dr. Jacoby, you wouldn't think that, but it totally makes sense. He just kind of went nuts and he's living out the trailer.
Well, I kind of think in a way he's swindling people. I feel like he was kind of swindling people when he was a doctor. Like, he didn't care about them as a shrink.
Yeah.
And even now he's found a new way to basically manipulate people and have them buy golden shovels.
Yeah.
Complicated guy.
Yeah. And Ben Horn is now the David Letterman stand-in.
Oh.
He's hosting his own talk shows. He looks more like David Letterman.
What do you think? I think it seems like Ben kind of stayed to the straight and narrow. We're not really seeing everything, but
it does seem like he's stayed pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bryon, you thought that Leland would take over for the Bob. Like, he would be the new Bob.
Yeah, I was totally wrong on that.
Yeah.
Because of Frank Silva's death, I thought they were going to go that way. But like you were saying, Mark, they've done a great job where they're incorporating old footage and different things to keep Frank Silva alive. And I like that way more than my theory.
Well, you also did, both you and Mark did talk about this, and you both did also say that you could use old footage.
Oh.
I wasn't sure how they were going to do that, and we were talking about Star Wars and all that. But they have found a way to use the old footage. So I will say you guys were right, even though your theory started off as Leland. You guys did talk more through. I was talking about the guy from Prison Break, Teabag there. Maybe he was going to be...
Oh, stepping in.
He was going to step in.
I
but
remember that now.
He actually like runs the casino, that he was like beating up the
right.
manager and stuff.
Gotcha.
So that was his role. He was one of the brothers there, the Mitchum brothers.
I think I was thinking more like some missing pieces stuff that maybe they had held back.
Yes.
But I really like how they're doing it, just more the image and, he's in the bubble and stuff, or he's, still in Cooper or Bad Cooper.
The mirror there.
Very subtle.
Yeah.
Very subtle,
Yeah.
Good.
Mark, you also mentioned about other lodge spirits I think that could basically take over for Bob. That you mentioned the Giant and the Jumping Man. Which, it didn't happen that way, but I do love the idea of the spirits, and I love that in this past weeks we got the Woodsman.
Yeah. Yeah, we got the Woodsman. We have the Giant,
But
we're definitely seeing more of the lodge,
Yeah.
They don't represent Bob, at least. I don't think they represent... That's
gotcha.
what I was getting at Bob, but I still like the idea that these spirits are somehow involved. We definitely have a new evil in these Woodsmen, which is really interesting.
Yeah, really cool.
Crazy, yeah.
I got this one right, but this is almost an easy one. We will see Diane in the series, and it will be Laura Dern.
Yeah. And and me and Mark were like, no. But
it's been fine.
Yeah, that was an awesome Diane though.
Right. I never would have thought that we would have got a Diane who was swearing and basically telling every single person she saw off.
Yeah, Mark, what did you think about this Diane?
I didn't have I guess it's pretty good because in the old series she's, completely silent and just listening to him basically the whole time. And then when we get her, she's telling everyone to, F off.
Yeah. Cooper says, "Will you please mail me some earplugs?" Fuck you, Cooper.
Do you picture her getting it? The messages just going, God damn it! Why didn't you remember to bring these? Just swearing and.
I will say, I don't know if this is how she's always been.
No, I don't
do
think
feel
so.
like something has happened that has changed her attitude about the FBI, has changed her attitude about these other people.
I agree. Yeah. I feel like she was nice and, she did what her boss told her to do and she was good at her job. And then I think something happened and something between Cooper and Diane happened because she said, "Do you remember that night in my house?" And he's like, "I do." But he said it with no emotion. And then she's like, "There was nothing here," pointing to her heart. And
and I think about Lost Highway. It's like, is it in your house?
Yeah. Something happened that really pissed her off.
Right.
Yeah.
You go back to also that the missing pieces scene where there is Diane. So now that's Laura Dern in there, and that's obviously completely different tone than what we're seeing
something
now.
Has
so I
changed
think
in
you're
your
right.
room. He's doing I don't know what he's doing squats or
Yes.
something. And he's like stretching. He's like, "I know something has changed in your room. It's not your hair," which I think is great because she has great hair there. "It's not your hair. I know you've moved the clock," or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny. Yeah.
So bizarre. Yeah.
Here's another easy one for Bryan. Bryan says Eva Cooper has either kidnapped somebody or killed somebody
To prove that he's evil. Yeah, and we got that.
I thought was a gimme. How can you not have Eva Cooper and is he gonna be skipping? I mean,
I know. Well, he's been evil for 25 years, so they could have alluded that he's done evil things.
Yeah,
but
we talked about that,
Yeah, but the moment you saw him, he karate chops these guys in the neck, knocks them down, and then he kills the girl in the hotel. And then
he kills everybody.
He kills everybody. He shoots the woman that is the principal's wife.
Jack.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
He kills Jack. His pet,
oh, right, Jack. He squeezes her cheeks.
Jack.
Yes. Yep.
Oh, nice. Mark talks about Robert Forster. Who would he be playing? There was the talk about Harry or Frank Truman. I think he went with Frank, and so did Bryan.
Yep.
And I went with Harry Truman. My words were, why would they make another brother? Like, how that seems like so left field to be like, oh, now Harry has a brother and he happens to be the sheriff.
But it's an easy.
It was easy.
Easy.
And you guys already said that it was in Mark Frost's book, and there was a whole line of the family were all sheriffs.
Didn't you also say something about you had thought or you had heard that it was kind of already scripted for Harry?
I had heard that basically the storyline was set, and they really didn't want to change that because the story had already been that it was going to be Truman. So I think And
was that around all those efforts to get him and the back and forth with the jacket? Yeah.
Which I don't know if Bryan was debating on whether we wanted to get into any more predictions, but I'll just throw this out. They seem to be hinting that the real Harry Truman might make an appearance. I mean, every week we're kind of like, "How you doing?" on the phone with him.
I got a different impression.
Did you?
I get an impression he's gonna die.
Okay.
I feel like he has.
Heard that too.
I feel like he has cancer. Because the last time we hear, he goes, and Harry, beat this thing. And you don't really say it to anybody with a cold. So I feel like he has cancer, and I feel like he's going to die.
He could die, but we might see him on the deathbed. Like maybe Cooper will come back, and he'll have one more moment with his old friend there.
Maybe. I mean, as much as I would love that to happen, I feel like, for me, I got the impression that we're going to get a couple more phone calls, and he's going to get that one phone call that he's going to die. Or, something bad's going to happen to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is kind of building like that. I wonder how they did change it. I think maybe he would have been doing maybe some of the Hawk stuff or with Hawk if it was Harry.
Maybe,
so it's like, they didn't. I think he's got a history of doing that too. Just kind of, if the character changes, just not trying to fit it around it, but taking it in new direction. So,
true.
All this stuff with Frank and his wife, that's like a whole different thing, He's
that's
not
true.
even involved really that much.
Happy accidents.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he goes with it. Like,
exactly.
I think it was in Entertainment Weekly, something where they're saying, oh, the little man is now evolved into a tree. And David Lynch, something about...
Necessity is the mother of invention.
He had to do that with the little man from another place when Michael Anderson didn't work out. And now he had to do that with Harry Truman. And he just goes with it.
Yeah.
And Bryan says, James will be a major player in figuring out who killed Donna.
No.
Killed Donna, yes.
Well, Donna's not around, so she could be dead.
Yes.
And James, all we saw him do was smile and look at Shelley, and Shelley say, James has always been cool. And that was it.
Well, I love that, like, when we were talking about this predictions, Bryan, you said, we're going to like James. Like, you're saying this is his redemption because he's going to try and figure out who killed Donna, and this is his redemption. And who do we have? Shelley saying, James, he was always cool.
Yeah, that was
James
the redemption.
was redeemed.
Yeah.
Just like that.
That's
All it took was Shelley. It's like, because I don't know, Shelley is beautiful, and like this beautiful woman saying, James is all right. And it's like, yes, James is all right.
Yeah. It is odd how a lot of us were like, James, oh God, James. And then James walks in, she says that, and then all of a sudden, the next day online, we're all like, James is forgiven.
It's so true.
We all love James.
That's all it took.
And maybe we were thinking we were going to get more, and we could.
I think we will.
We could. But you know what it was? They gave him an accident, and we all felt bad for him.
No, I didn't.
He's a motorcycle accident, so now we feel bad for him.
It was all Shelley. That's all I cared about. When Shelley said, he's always been cool, it's like, you know what? He is a nice guy. Why are we so hard on him? He always tried to do the right thing. He tried to get his girlfriend not to do drugs. He tried to always be there for people. Like, what was my problem?
I think it was a nod to us, saying, hello, knuckleheads. James has always been cool. You guys just didn't see it.
Right. And it was very nostalgic. I mean, it was the idea that, like, oh, yeah, we can look back.
Yep.
It was all right.
Yeah, sort of.
So, Mark, you talked about the Entertainment Weekly cover was false. These outfits and what they were wearing was not going to be the characters they were going to be playing.
That was mixed results, right?
Mixed.
Is it mixed?
Because, Bobby is dressed as a biker, or his jacket. Now he's a sheriff. So I'm taking that one.
Yeah.
I still think that's a grown-up a leather jacket. I still think when he's not working at the sheriff's station, he might be getting.
But we've only seen him.
All right, I'll give you one. I'll give you that, Mark.
Yeah, we haven't seen much of Bobby though. He's been kind of disappeared.
All right,
we haven't seen Audrey. We haven't seen. We saw Shelley in her.
I think we even said that in the discussion that it might be mixed, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But most of them we've seen Laura. She wore that outfit. Of course, Cooper.
That's true.
And we saw Shelley and. We've seen.
I was wrong. You're definitely wrong on Shelley. Yeah, it was all fun.
We haven't seen Big Ed.
I thought Shelley went to college.
She could have gone. She could have gone to community college and still working.
She's still working there.
It's true, but it does feel right. It doesn't feel when you see him doing it again. I thought it might feel contrived, but yeah, like I said, all the characters, you got to trust them to how it played out. It feels like it should,
Yeah. We haven't seen Big Ed. We've seen Nadine.
We've seen a clip from the promo, and I think he was wearing that outfit. Like he's just in the trailer there. He's just drinking coffee. We did see Nadine.
Yeah, we saw her sitting in a chair, watching
Jacoby's
shoveling
podcast.
shit. Yeah. His video cast.
Yes.
This is another example. What was that? 2 seconds, but. That's Nadine, Nadine has some peace and she's having a good time listening to this nut.
It's her version of Invitation to Love.
Yeah.
Like, we gotta listen to Jacoby's show there. So I said we will learn more about Judy and she will not be Josie's sister. As of right now, unknown. I want to believe we're gonna get Judy. We got Philip Jeffries. We got at least mentions of Philip Jeffries. I'm hoping before the series is out, we'll learn more about Judy.
I have a theory about Judy. Mark, I don't know if you heard Ben's, Wizard of Oz connection with Lynch. He loves Wizard of Oz and these different things.
You want to briefly just mention? So, I mean, this was actually with Twitter. I used an animated GIF to create that. In the Wizard of Oz, you had Scarecrow didn't have a brain, and you had the Tin Man didn't have a heart, and then the lion needed courage. And I combined that, and this is actually me. I think you
did a good job.
I did this, and John Bernardi actually came up with this, and I hadn't seen his blog at the time, 25 years site that they have. But anyways, so I'm combining that to be all of Cooper. He's all of a sudden he's able to do his case files, and he gets a brain, and then. When he sees his son in the car, he starts crying, and there's a heart.
Yeah.
And then courage is when Ike is about to shoot him. He's able to attack him and get his courage. So he's done everything he needed to do basically to go home now. So my feeling was, okay, we can finally end the Dougie storyline and he can actually become back. But some people are saying he hasn't got his shoes back. I mean, Dorothy
He lost his shoes.
Dorothy is able to go
the
home.
ruby slippers.
Yeah, it's the ruby slippers.
Maybe he's just missing his shoes.
So
That's good.
to tag along with that theory, my theory has been that Dougie's not, real. It's not in the real world. It's in this, like, the Emerald City. It's like in this other place in Mr. C's head. But with that being said,
we're not going to talk about Judy.
I think it's the same thing. I think it's going to be, we're not going to talk about Dougie. I think.
What?
Yes.
What are you getting at?
I think that Judy is the same premise. What if Judy was Laura?
I've always loved that theory. I always loved the idea that was one and the same.
And Laura, just like Dougie came into the lodge, turned into a silver ball, and there was someone that replaced Laura, and it was Judy. Like we have Cooper stepping into Dougie, and Dougie's being replaced by Cooper.
Are you talking about this past episode where Not the Giant is taking the spirit orb of Laura Palmer?
Judy could have been the woman we were looking at. The little man says to Cooper, "This isn't Laura." What if that was Judy?
Oh, man, I get a headache just thinking about this.
I'm just saying, like, what if the new Judy is Dougie? And we're not going to talk about Dougie. I'm just saying,
let's not talk about him.
Let's not talk about Dougie, because Dougie's now gone.
Dougie was manufactured. There's no value to me to Dougie. He's like a...
I know. This is a theory.
I
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I do like the whole idea of the golden orb or ball that Dougie was, and then we have Laura Palmer, who is like a golden orb. I do feel like there's some kind of connection, and whether that's all about manufacturing, if it's all about Dougie was manufactured, and maybe the Giant manufactured the spirit, another spirit of Laura.
And we won't talk about Judy, and I don't know. That's a theory. Cool. I mean, I kind of connect the two together.
I do agree. I love the idea of Judy being Laura Palmer. I hope you're right.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about that, Mark?
Yeah, very interesting theories, guys. Could be, but I'm completely in a different spot. So I'm a little behind in my coverage on my show. Just been lagging behind, but been looking at part 3 lately. And what do you guys think about the woman with the eyelids sewn up? Do you have any kind of thoughts on that?
I think both of us, when we first saw her, thought she could have been Josie, and then I think we kind of shrugged it off and said, no, that's not Josie.
Yeah, it's not Josie.
I mean...
Well, remember that whole half-sister or her Josie's sister
is Judy.
Could be Judy kind of theory.
Ooh,
that's true.
That could be Judy.
That's where I think that might be Judy. She's in there with the blue roses. Remember the theory that maybe she's, I think we talked about it, maybe she's Philip Jeffries' Laura.
Oh.
Yes, I did like that theory of yours, too.
That would make her one of the blue roses, like Laura, like Teresa Banks, Maddie, maybe, and Ronette's in there. That's my working theory, and I'm actually getting ready to come out with an episode on that, so I expound on that. But that whole Blue Rose and, Cooper kind of has trouble talking to that woman, but when he gets to Ronette, who he's got a relationship with, it kind of goes a little smoother for him.
Yeah.
So maybe if that's Judy, that's not really his Blue Rose.
Ooh.
So,
yeah. Cool. I like that.
We'll see if we see more on that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You blew my theory out of the water. I like that. I gotta dig in. I'll be staying tuned to listen to your show.
And Bryon, you had the last prediction, and the last one was that Cheryl Lee will only be playing Laura Palmer, no other new characters.
So far.
And so far, you're right. I mean, so far, and I also feel like there's so much story going on. I don't think there is time for her to be a redhead and another character. And and the way they're going,
we have so many actors we haven't seen yet.
Right.
And why would you need Cheryl Lee to play anybody else but Laura?
Right.
That would confuse people.
And I feel like her story, Laura's story, is so important, and especially after this past part 8, I feel like she's vital. She's so important to what's going on right now.
Keep her as her character.
Yes,
definitely. But any new predictions, Mark? You haven't? You can think of?
Oh, come on, no. Some of these predictions, we still have half a season.
That's true.
It's gonna be all about Donna and her murder in the second so we don't know.
And James has got to solve it.
The rest of the show is going to be James and the Hardy Boys solving Donna's murder.
There you go.
Getting the gang back together.
And then it's just going to be Shelley just saying, James is a pretty cool guy. And that's it. We're going to be like, yeah, he is. He's cool.
That's awesome.
That's it.
Well, we got so much going on. I think we got to end it here. And
Yeah.
We got to have you on again soon, Mark.
Sure, absolutely, yeah.
Where people can find you and tell us more about Deer Meadow Radio podcast.
Yeah, it's the old Deer Meadow Radio, so that's Gmail, Twitter, Facebook, and www.deermeadowradio.libsyn.com. What have we been doing? We've been covering the new series, but we kind of take our time. I just keep watching them, So I've been watching part 3 a lot lately, and that'll be coming out soon. Obviously this isn't a hot take show necessarily. And I think, didn't Lynch say that you can even kind of watch these in any order?
He did.
Yeah, you almost kind of get that, It's like different things going on. And so being behind, I'm always worried about getting spoiled or, that kind of thing. But it doesn't seem to matter. So we're trudging along. We were at Awesome Con, so we have some footage of that. Scott Ryan already put it out there, but that'll be next episode. I'm putting that together. We did a panel, Twin Peaks panel, David Bushman put together.
Yeah.
And Scott Ryan did the audio for it, so I think it's out there on Red Room, but he shared it with us. So
very nice.
Put out a little something with that. So.
Awesome.
But that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Mark. It's really cool to have you on the show to kind of catch up. It's funny to see how bad and wrong we were. I'm happy we were wrong. I'm so happy with where Twin Peaks is going.
We got some stuff right.
Yeah.
We weren't too bad. I'm excited to see how it all pans out. Yeah, it could have been a lot worse. It could have been like we saw nobody. It's not even dealing with anybody.
I'm just glad you were wrong about us not going to Twin Peaks right away. I'm glad we got Twin Peaks in the first part.
Yeah.
And we are getting more, because the way people were talking, it was like, oh, we're going to go to Paris, and we're going to go all over the world.
It was filmed in Paris.
It was filmed in Paris, but we're still spending a lot of time in Twin Peaks.
Different areas were actually filmed different. If you watch the credits, it will say where it was filmed. And sometimes it's filmed in California, and sometimes it was filmed in Paris.
Sure.
But I think it's just for the look.
Yeah.
That was it. It was for the look. It had a good look. And who knows, that White Lodge stuff, that stuff could have been filmed in Paris.
Or digital. It could be, yeah.
It looked pretty real to me.
What White Lodge stuff, Brian? What are you talking about? Part 8?
Yeah, Part 8.
We're talking about the purple...
The giant and the wife.
I think that's the Black Lodge. I'm saying that's the Black Lodge.
Black Lodge.
See, I think it's the White Lodge because they're good.
Are they good? Dun, dun, dun.
Well, they sent Laura.
Dun, dun, dun.
They're setting all this up. I don't know.
They sent Laura out, so they got to be good.
Or was it her doppelganger?
Oh, it was Judy. Judy.
Cool. Well, thank you, Mark. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, Mark, for coming on today's show. And, man, the predictions are turning out crazy as I thought they would. I can't wait to the second half of the series to come back and revisit. And happy 4th of July.
In the U.S. who celebrate it, happy 4th of July.
Yes.
You could rewatch Part 8 and see all those fireworks.
That's what I'm doing 4th of July. I'm going to rewatch that. That's a great idea, actually.
The atomic bomb is like your 4th of July.
4th of July, yeah. You can send us those comments, theories, and questions at twinpeaksunwrapped@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter. Let's get to 900 likes on Facebook. Keep those comments and likes coming. And you can find us on Google Play, iTunes. Subscribe to us, please. 5-star review gets us out there in the wild.
I'll see you in the trees. I'll see you in the trees. Under the sycamore